Good YouTube, it's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV back at y'all with another one. So we just got some interesting news. Well, not just got, but we received some interesting news that undefeated two-division world champion, who's currently WBC reigning middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, Jermall Charlo. Well, he had the opportunity to face multi-division world champion, superstar boxer, Daniel the Miracle Man Jacobs in his last fight, but he opted to not fight Danny Jacobs to fight JUAN Montiel. We know that Danny Jacobs and Jermall Charlo, they came face-to-face at the Barclays Center after a fight, or right before a fight. I believe it was the Adrian Broner fight. And they came face to face, and it went viral. Okay, when they came face to face, it went viral. Jermall Charlo had made some statements about Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs, he saw Jermall Charlo, and he came, face to face. The infamous Danny Jacobs saying, "Oh, I came at the right time," right? And he confronted Jermall Charlo about comments he made, and going back and forth. Danny Jacobs ended up saying, "I'm touching M's. Have you touched the M yet?" So on and so forth. We know the backstory with that. But what's more interesting is Jermall Charlo is seen to be void of opponents, of quality opponents. Thus the reason why he had to choose JUAN Montiel. Danny Jacobs, he stated that, they had preliminary talks, to try to get a deal done to face Jermall Charlo instead of Jermall Charlo fighting JUAN Montiel. Okay? Jermall Charlo, yes, he fought Sergey Derevyanchenko. He was coming off of a loss, but a victory in my eyes. I thought that Sergey Derevyanchenko, he beat Gennady Triple G Golovkin in the fight, but Triple G, he got the nod. Okay? With that said, the entire boxing world wants to see Jermall Charlo fight the upper echelon of opponents, the best available opponents that are out there. And JUAN Montiel is not that guy. Okay, there was a conversation back and forth between Jermall Charlo and undefeated two-time super middleweight WBC world champion Mexican superstar boxer David Benavidez. This after Jermall Charlo made comments that he would knock out David Benavidez because David Benavidez just doesn't have defense. Okay, he's void of defense. He get hit a lot, and he can't, absorb what he's dishing out over 12 rounds. So he feels like he would go up to 168 and stop David Benavidez. David Benavidez, he responded by saying, "Let's make it happen. If you're truly about that life, let's make it happen. Show me. Don't tell the world, show the world." Okay. Obviously, Jermall Charlo, he's been seeking out an opportunity to face four-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer, who's the super middleweight unified world champion currently in Saul Canelo Alvarez. That has not come to fruition. Canelo Alvarez had the opportunity to fight Jermall Charlo when he was at 154, and he opted not to take the opportunity. Canelo Alvarez, he also had the opportunity to fight Jermall Charlo at 160 when Jermall Charlo became Canelo Alvarez's mandatory, and he also at that point in time opted not to take the opportunity to fight Jermall Charlo. He petitioned to be franchised, and we know the rest is history. So he has literally no interest in fighting Jermall Charlo. That's abundantly clear. So Jermall Charlo, he's fighting the Brandon Adams of the world, and there's no slight to Brandon Adams. There's no slight to the Montiel, but he fought, against, Sergey Derevyanchenko coming off a loss, as I stated. But I thought Sergey Derevyanchenko won the fight against Gennady Triple G Golovkin. Nonetheless, he didn't get the nod. And prior to that, he fought Matt Korobov, Brandon Adams. These are not big names in the sport of boxing. Danny Jacobs is a very, very credible opponent. Danny Jacobs, and like I said, Danny Jacobs, Jermall Charlo, when they came face to face, it went viral. So it would have been a huge storyline for Danny Jacobs to face off against Jermall Charlo, okay? Because Danny Jacobs has been a world champion. Danny Jacobs has been in there with Gennady Golovkin and Canelo. Now, he came up short. I didn't think he put out his best performance in those showdowns, but nonetheless, he was in there. Danny Jacobs has beat some credible opponents. Danny Jacobs, 37 wins, 3 losses, no draws. 30 wins by way of knockout. He himself was knocked out one time in his career. That was early in his career. He's 34 years of age, stands at 5'11", nearly 6 feet tall with a 73-inch arm reach. So he's equivalent to size of Jermall Charlo. Now, Danny Jacobs, in replace of that, he fought a rivalry fight against Gabe Rosado. That was November of 2020, and it wasn't his best output in that fight. Okay, I wasn't impressed with Danny Jacobs' performance against Gabe Rosado at all whatsoever. I thought it was a lackluster performance. I thought he didn't have any motivation in the fight. I didn't think that he was assertive in the fight. I thought he was just going through the motions. He didn't seem very motivated in the fight, and he ended up getting the victory. And most people thought that Gabe Rosado won that fight, okay, because Danny Jacobs seemed to be asleep at the wheel. Okay, similar to Danny Jacobs, he made a mistake in the Triple G fight, which he tried to switch stands. Coming out of exchange, he got caught, he got dropped, and I think that proved to be the difference in the fight. And then Danny Jacobs, he fought Canelo Alvarez. I didn't think that was his best performance either. So with that said, Danny Jacobs is still a very, very viable and credible option. More so than Juan Montiel, okay? More so than Brandon Adams. The last few opponents. Danny Jacobs, he beat Sergey Derevyanchenko, who Jermall Charlo fought prior to the Juan Montiel fight. Danny Jacobs beat Sergey Derevyanchenko. He was the first person to beat Sergey Derevyanchenko, okay? So with that said, he's a very, very credible option. And to turn him down to fight Juan Montiel is not a good look. I'm just going to be flat out honest. It's just not a good look for the sport of boxing. It's not a good look if, he had this option to choose Danny Jacobs and he chose Juan Montiel. And Danny Jacobs said, well, at the end of the day, he's going in a different direction in his career, and I'm going in a different direction in my career. And so it was no hard feelings. That's what Danny Jacobs ended up stating, that there was no hard feelings, okay? But there is hard feelings on the part of the boxing fans, okay? Because nobody wanted to see Jermall Charlo face off against Juan Montiel. Now, it turned out to be a much tougher outing for Jermall Charlo than most people expected, okay? Most people didn't expect Jermall Charlo to have been hurt in the 8th and 9th round. Most people didn't expect it to be a tough fought fight. Most people expected, Jermall Charlo to get Juan Montiel out of there very early, which it seemed like that was going to be the case. But Juan Montiel, he weathered the storm a few times where it seemed like he was going to get knocked out. And he made it a competitive fight. And now Jermall Charlo, 32 wins, no losses, no draws, 22 wins by way of knockout. He's 31 years of age. He stands 6 feet tall with a 73-inch arm reach. Juan Montiel, if you put him in the ring next to Danny Jacobs or in the ring Danny Jacobs, everybody's going to feel like it's a cherry pick. That's how highly people would feel about Danny Jacobs. So to turn down Danny Jacobs from Juan Montiel is not a good look. And you can no longer sell the fact that fighters are not looking to fight Jermall Charlo. We can only say, well, Canelo Alvarez may be not looking to fight Jermall Charlo, but you have undefeated two-division world champion, who's the reigning WBO world champion, middleweight reigning champion, and Demetrius Boo Andrew, who's undefeated, and he's calling for a fight, and you're directing him to fight Juan Montiel before you face him, before you start to negotiate for a fight with him. Danny Jacobs, you turned him down to fight Juan Montiel. That's not a good look, okay? Then you have his identical twin brother, Jermall Charlo, who's fighting the absolute best in his division and turning down nothing but his collar. And now he's going into an undisputed match July 17th. As he always states, the loss to Tony Harrison woke him up, okay? I didn't think he lost the fight to Tony Harrison in the first fight, but nonetheless, the judges did. That's the most important people. And he had a loss on his resume. Now, he rectified the loss. He came back to beat Tony Harrison and knock Tony Harrison out. So with that said, He's fighting the best opposition available to him. Jermall Charlo can't turn down Danny Jacobs' fight for Juan Montiel. That's not a quality fight. When you have a quality opponent and Danny Jacobs on the table, that's a huge fight. That would be the biggest fight in Jermall Charlo's career. That's a bigger fight than him and Sergey Derevyanchenko, which was his first pay-per-view, because Danny Jacobs was the first person to beat Sergey Derevyanchenko. And he dropped Sergey Derevyanchenko, okay? Danny Jacobs fought the opponents that you want to fight in Canelo Alvarez, Triple G, and those are close fights. So he's a very, very viable option. Now, he didn't get the nod. Now, like I said, I thought he could have asserted himself much more in the Canelo Alvarez fight. But nonetheless, you're looking to secure a fight with Triple G, former unified two-time middleweight world champion, who's the IBF champion at middleweight reigning. But Triple G has no interest in fighting Jermall Charlo. He has a 2-fight plan already laid out where he's going to fight. He wants to fight lower level option on the same card as WBA middleweight reigning champion Murata. And then he wants to fight Murata at the end of the year. He has no interest in fighting. So Juan Montiel, Danny Jacobs, it should have been a no-brainer. Danny Jacobs should have been the option. And he should have pushed for that, the best quality fight. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.